Who are you?
My name is Bond.
I am Groot!
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya.
I am Steve Rogers.
Spartans!
Damn it, what do you want?
Wanna play psycho killer?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
E.T. Home phone.
Yeah, I need to make the music longer because it just drops and I'm like, no, I don't get to dance enough. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on the YouTubes, thank you so much. If you're listening in your ear holes, I want to thank you for listening to our sexy, sexy voices. I am, of course, the podcast mogul, Phil Better. He is Aaron Talks Films, the pulp culture expert, the man you want on your side if ever you're doing a movie trivia night at a pub. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to and watching the Phil Better Show. Today we are being half-blood princes, Wingardium Leviosa's ourselves up into the skies. I can go on with these puns, but I'll stop. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm not too bad. I'm kind of regretting the number that I chose when it comes to this, because when we discussed what movie to review, you just said send me a number, and the first
Between
number
1 and 100, I believe, and you picked 69 or 67.
69. Of course, it was 69.
So, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
60, nice.
Yeah, but it's so you've got your list of 100 movies.
No, it was. I'll send you the picture. I downgraded my movie collection to 100 movies.
Okay.
Or 100 DVDs. So I have some like TV series. I count that like the season as one DVD. So it's not like, oh, there's like 50. You feel there's like 15 DVDs. No, it's one DVD.
I'm glad I didn't choose one of those, because then I would have
that's
season.
when I would have been like, choose a new number. But yeah, you had chosen. So I'm downgraded from like 300. I had to downgrade from 300 movies, man. Do you know how much? Because I'm trying to minimize. I've been watching Mary Kindle. Anyways, Netflix.
Yeah,
not important.
I threw all my DVDs away. So I kept the important ones.
Yeah, that's what I did. I kept all my favorite ones, especially my Boondock Saints. Which, if you want to hear a great episode, go to listen to the Real Boys on the podcast. Real Boys, REEL Boys on Facebook, and you can listen to me get slaughtered by my arch enemy Michael Colby from Jack Billing Presents. That's the freebie he's going to get on this episode. That's all he gets. He's my arch enemy.
Just quickly, I know we don't do news anymore, but there's a Boondock Saints 3 coming.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in.
We do a piece of news.
Yeah.
A piece of news. I was going to get to that after the story, but thank you. Yes, I tagged Michael, and every single person who wrote about it or I saw, I tagged Michael in it because he was not a fan of the first one. You should watch it. It's hilarious. Our episode, not the movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Aaron picked. I downgraded from 300 to 100. And he picked 69, which turned out to be Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. One of the darker movies, and you feel it, like the tone and the visuals really.
Yeah, it's so like I was watching it on my phone again, because I watch everything on my phone because I can walk around and do other stuff.
Yeah.
And at some points I had to kind of do this, put my phone up nearer my face because it was so dark, and I was like, "What is going on?" I don't know if it was a.
Did you put the brightness up on your phone?
No, the brightness was all the way up. The phone was fine. It's just it gets so dark. I can't
even on
my
even on my TV, I had some issues. There was like some moments in the darkness that I'm like, sure, let's go with what they're doing there.
Yeah, it very much is. You know, you're adults now. There you go, and it pushes them into it. Every movie gets darker. You know, it's just
it starts with like the third movie. I feel like the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
Really, that is the Chamber of Secrets is the second one. Azkaban is the third.
And it's Goblet of Fire. Yeah.
Goblet of Fire. Order of Phoenix.
Oh, is this number 6?
This is number 7.
No, number 7 was.
Hold on.
Deathly Hallows, and then it's
the last one is the Deathly Hallows.
It's number 7, and number 7 they split it into 2.
So it goes. Hold on. Philosopher's Stone, because I'm not using Sorcerer's Stone because it's the Philosopher's Stone. Proper titles here. Chamber of Secrets. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. Order of Phoenix.
Yeah. This one. Half-Blood
Prince. You're right. I apologize. 7 years of school. I apologize. Yeah. So yeah, this is the 6th movie.
That's why. That just makes me even angrier that I had to watch this. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Not angry, just annoyed. And I'll explain why when we get into it.
Yeah, I tend to have that effect, making people watch movies and they get annoyed with me.
It's not that. I will explain it properly. But you're like,
yeah, so you picked this movie. It's the darkest one. It's the one that I feel they portray adolescents' love triangles really freaking well in this. Because you get that awkwardness. Because you like,
it's the teenage awkwardness. I get that.
It gets the teenage because they're actual teenagers, and you're probably figuring, they're probably having that actual awkwardness, like that, like like, oh, we're gonna kiss, we're not, and at certain moments, like I'm reminded of when Ron is poisoned and is in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And then you have his girlfriend at the time come in and is like Rooney Pooney, and you just have the adults standing in the background going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then at one moment you have Snape. Alan Rickman as Snape makes this series. This like dead look, and he's looking down and he's like,
"These fucking kids.
You child."
Yeah.
What you what the, like, he's not saying anything, but the look is just saying, "I want to murder you. I can't. Do you know who I am?" What are you saying? Like, he's saying so much, and I was trying my hardest not to laugh. Because it's laughing. Not
because it's not just him. All of the adults just look awkward. They're kind of
like, they don't know what to do, and you have Snape just like, is this for real? Like, are we? And what, like, I love the books. The books I love, and something these movies do is actually give you, like, this movie gives you so much emotions, and like when you read the book, it's like that scene. You read the book, it's not the same. It's completely different.
Yeah, because when you're reading a book, you visualize it in the way that you think it should be, but if you watch the movie and then read the book, you visualize it how you've already seen it. So it makes the book reading experience a whole lot different.
So this is how I see when I'm reading. I have a very vivid imagination, but when I was younger, my parents also always used to read like books that kind of like words and a picture in the middle.
Yeah.
And the pictures weren't always fully formed. It was just centered on the attention of what's going on, the action.
Mm.
So when I start seeing things, like when I'm reading and they're like, oh, they're in New York, or they're standing in the middle of New York, how I see them is spotlight. There's just a small circle and there's like people walking in, but outside of that circle, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So like it kind of like fades off. So like when I'm like reading it in the books, she's like, oh, Ronnie Pawnee. Like I completely forgot that Snape was there, that like Albus was there when I'm reading, because like my imagination only sees like the people that are currently being talked, like have words. So it's like Ron said this, and then Harry responded. So there's just Harry and Ron there, and then Hermione joins. But if Ron doesn't say anything for a while, I forget he's there.
Yeah, and even in this, like now, if you'd have watched the first time you watched this, you would not have noticed Snape and the other adults in the background, because your attention, like you say, is on the person speaking the lines and what is happening in that part of the movie. You're not focusing on the background, and that's the same with any movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen you know, when I do my what's the word, like movie trivia stuff.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff that I find out is about stuff that's happening in the background of scenes, and it's not until you know what's happening that your brain will focus on that next time, as opposed to what's happening at the forefront.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's only like it's strange that you brought this up because I thought the exact same thing when she was doing the whole waddy poop or whatever she was saying. I wasn't paying attention to her. I was looking at the background for no reason, and then I just noticed all the adults standing around. Like, were we this pathetic? I don't. Did we do this at school? You know,
like really? Like, does this actually happen? Like, we read about it in books, but does it actually happen? You know, like,
and why are they doing it in front of us? Are they not feeling awkward? Like, why are they doing this? It's just, it's so weird, and it's just like you say, if not for Alan Rickman, that it just would not have been as funny as what it should have been.
It just takes the whole thing up to another level with his just like. It's Snape. Like, you're watching Snape, and like he portrays this character that's like vile and oozes evil, but at the same time, like, has this like I don't know what it is. Like,
it's a likability about him that you should.
He gets to say the shit that we wish we could say.
Yeah.
You know, and get away with the looks that we wish we could at times.
He's one of the best cast characters in a movie ever. Like, even again when we go back to the books and you're reading them and you kind of imagine what the characters look like. You can't get an exact image, but you get a certain image. He is that image. You know, he
encapsulates the the wig, the way he walks, and the way he says Potter.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's
there's one bit when he's talking to Dumbledore and then he walks out and he walks down a kind of spiral staircase past Harry Potter. He kind of stops and looks at him and then walks off. But as he's walking down a spiral staircase, because his cloak is billowing behind him, he looks like he's flying. It's like you say, just the way that he walks and the way he presents himself. He does,
because in the books he glides.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He's gliding, but he actually looks like he's flying down the stairs. Yeah, it's just it's magical. Pun intended.
Like, I love the Harry Potter series. Like, whenever I want to feel like watching the movies, I make a commitment to read the book before watching the movie.
Yeah, just because I don't have that time. I
again, single. You're a parent.
Yes, I don't have the mental focus to read a book. I try, you know, the most I can do is a comic book, but even then I can't finish it or focus. So yeah, if I had the time, I would read the books again. But yeah, I just don't have that opportunity at the moment. So the films is just the next best thing. But the problem is, Phil, and I'm just going to explain the problem I had with this movie. The main problem
is that Dumbledore died.
No, I don't care about that. Spoilers, but I don't care because Dumbledore's a dick.
Fuck off, spoilers. The book came out. I remember when the book came out.
This could be someone's first podcast and they have not seen that movie. So we always have to warn about spoilers. But yeah, Dumbledore dies, but I don't care because Dumbledore's a dick anyway. That's mainly because of the actor. I don't like the actor in that role. The actor's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. He's a great actor, but he does not encapsulate. He's not
your Dumbledore.
No, he's not. The first
Richard Harris.
Richard Harris.
Yeah,
is Dumbledore.
Unfortunately,
again, that's what I. Yeah, I know he died, and they can't do anything about that. But he was so laid back and just old and wise, and he is what I imagined when I read the books. But this way, what's his name? Michael Gambon.
Yeah,
he's just so. Harry Potter. He's just very like over the top, and it's just like, calm down for fuck's sake. You're really old. Just chill. I know there's a lot going on and people are dying, but take a breath. But yeah, the main problem with this movie is not the movie itself, is the fact that it is the 6-1 and I've just jumped in and watched it. You know, when you go to watch these kind of movies, you have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you have to go through, because I was explaining this to my wife earlier, because when I said to her that we was doing this movie, and she said, why not the first one? I said, I don't know. It's just a number. We won't go into that. But yeah, you watch the first movie, and especially when we watched the movies the first time, we were around that age.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of grew up with these characters. So as you go through the movies, you grow with them, and you understand their sort of character traits and who they are and why they're growing up a certain way. Now, again, we have all this information, but if you watch this movie on its own, they're all arseholes, they're idiots. And you can't connect with them on an emotional level because they just look stupid. Harry Potter at the beginning of this movie,
Oh, he's a twat.
He sees magic and he's like, wow. And he's looking around the room like, this is so... You've been around this for 6 years. You know that there's magic. And yet every time he sees it, he looks impressed and astounded. And it's like, dude, you try to get killed every year by magic. Just, it's there. You know it's there. And it's just... you're thrown into this movie on its own, and it's just not a good movie. So if it wasn't for the rest of them, this would just be a bad time. And it was. When I was watching it, I was so fucking miserable because they're all idiots. And I'm right. I know I'm right because it's just so strange.
It's again, such a weird point to point out. Like, but you're right.
Yeah,
like,
because
I'm
again,
just remembering the first scene where he's like, "Oh my god!" Like
in the house where where Dumbledore's putting the house back together after they find the guy in the chair, and he's just like,
"Oh my god! You can repair a room, dude. They repaired your glasses the first fucking year. Like, yes, they can repair a room."
And in about 20 minutes, he gets his nose broken, and someone fixes it for him. And even then, he's like, "Wow, that worked. Yeah, it fucking worked."
To be fair, it was Luna Lovegood. So, like, I would be amazed that her spells work as well.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, he still should not be astounded the fact that magic worked. If it's someone you don't exactly trust, because even she says,
trusting them with magic.
he's like, "Do you know how to do this?" And she's like, "Yeah, kind of." He's like, "We'll do it anyway." You're by the school. You've just saw 2 teachers. Get one of them to do it. I think McGonagall was there, but so was Snape. I know he doesn't like you, but
no, it was Filch. No, it was Filtwick or something like that. The
the caretaker.
No,
Flitwick. Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah,
he can do it. There's teachers there that know magic, but he's like, he'll let her do it because he's an idiot, even though he doesn't trust her. And then he's astounded when it works. Why are you astounded? It's just what I mean. It's the whole thing. Like, again, I've got all the knowledge of the previous movies. I know these characters, but it just astounds me how stupid they are in these movies. Oh, I get they're children, but they've been around it for 6 years. Some of them their whole life. I know he hasn't. But
Hermione is never amazed. Like, she's putting books away, and she's like, and Harry's like, "Oh, the books to go." And then when she's talking about the girls, give me a second here. Am I having some mic difficulties? Give me 1 second here.
You should tighten that up. Yeah, he's gone. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to carry on because I'm pretty sure he edits these, but I'm just gonna waffle anyway. But Harry Potter's a dick.
Are you saying? Have you just been saying Harry Potter's a dick the whole time?
No, I waffled a little bit. I wasn't sure if she was going to cut this out, so I just.
No,
waffled.
I'm not.
But yeah, they're in this world of magic, and they kind of. The other main point that bugged me towards the end, spoilers, when the Weasley house gets set on fire by Death Eaters, they get attacked by Death Eaters. For starters, Harry Potter runs off into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like, you're an idiot. Like, come on.
She killed your uncle. She will kill you.
I understand why, because it's pure emotion.
Emotional.
But hello, you're fucking witches and wizards. Wingardium Levioso or Repello Bringobaco or something like that.
It's the equivalent of, I get he's a child, so he's not, fully formed with his magic. So imagine he has do you know what a spud gun is?
Yeah.
Like, it's a little gun you push into a potato and you can fire chunks of potato.
Yeah.
That's what he has. She's got an Uzi. That's the equivalent of him chasing after her.
Because he's thinking like a muggle that he's going to beat her up. Like, I'm using the lexicon of the movie.
But she will kill him, and he still has that knowledge. Again, I get it's emotional when he does chase after her. I understand that, but at the same time, he's a child and he can't do what he's supposed to be doing. But then they explode the Weasley house and set it on fire, and they're all standing around watching. At least 4 of those people can put that fire out. At least 4 of those people can stop that happening, and yet they all stand there like, "Oh fuck, that's our house." The mum and the dad, and even the 2 elder Weasley boys, George and someone, and even Professor Lupin is there with his girlfriend. So that's
Tom's.
6 people.
His wife, by the way, it's his wife.
Sorry, but that's the main point. Is that's 6 people that could stop that house burning down, and they don't.
Because they don't in the book. Like, obviously.
But why not? That's what I mean. You're in this world. Like, if I
it's supposed to be a bigger fight. Like, it's a bit bigger of a fight than what
I just think visually when you see it happening and they all sort of stand around cuddling each other, like, well, at least we're safe. You can put that fire out. You have a wand that can shoot out water. You can do that. You have a wand that can put that house back to exactly how it was, even better, and yet you don't. But that's the problem. I'm watching this movie and I'm focusing on all these stupid things because I've not sat and watched the ones previous. I'm just angry that I'm watching this movie just in the middle of a story arc that, again, I have the previous knowledge, but I'm ignoring it because it's just upsetting.
I love this. Because you love the movie. I can tell that you love the movie. I'm
wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt.
I'm pissed off. Yeah, you're wearing the t-shirt and it's amazing. I have a keychain of the Time Turner because I visited.
I had one of those as well.
Because I visited when I was in London. I visited 9 3/4 because I had to. I didn't get my picture taken because I was going to miss my train up to Leeds.
Right.
Right. The lineup is insanely long.
I built one. It's not very good. For a few years, side note. A few years ago, for my wife's birthday, I couldn't afford to get her anything, so I acquired some pieces from work, like some wood, and went and bought some tinfoil. I didn't have a lot of money, but I bought some things, and I built her a trolley, half a trolley with half a suitcase on it, and put it up against the wall, and made a 9 3/4 sign.
That's fucking ingenious.
Yeah, it didn't look good. But I think it was more the effort that she appreciated. I made half a birdcage as well and put that on there, so it looked like it was going through the wall.
There we go. That's okay. I'm sorry. I would have put out for you that night, guaranteed.
Well, your birthday's coming up soon, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, this movie's dumb.
There's so much wrong with it, but at the same time, it's so great. Let me check my notes.
Like we was just saying, I like Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I've read all the books. I've seen all the movies. I understand everything. But when you jump into this kind of, it doesn't matter if it's just Harry Potter.
It also shows you how much of a dick Harry Potter is in this series. Like, he's eavesdropping.
Yeah, he's because he was right. He's right,
but at the same time,
he looks at Draco and goes, "Well, he's obviously up to no good." Yeah, because it's Draco. I get that, but he goes up to a teacher and goes, "I think the little girl got hexed," and he goes up to the teachers and goes, "Draco did it," and they're like, "Do you know? How do you know?" He's like, "I don't, but it's Draco."
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I get you don't like him, and he does look sketchy, but he's been like that for like 6 years. All Slytherin, in their nature, are like that.
Because they're snakes.
Every year, he's always like, "Snape did it," and then it turns out it wasn't Snape, and he's like, "Oh yeah," but yeah, he's just like, "Draco did it." Why? Because I don't like him. Shut up, Harry. You're a dick. And he's just,
he looks suspicious. Fucking Harry Potter. Everyone looks suspicious to you, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's got white hair. Of course, he looks suspicious. He's a 16-year-old boy with white hair. Anyone would look at that funny. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, again, I love these movies, but when you
watching one movie by itself, no, you have to do it.
And the whole, like, I get the kind of love triangle thing, but it wasn't dealt with. I know you said it was, but it made me cringe. I think I can emphasize with the characters because obviously I've been through puberty. We all have, and we kind of understand what it's like when your hormones are racing. But if you add magic into that, it makes it so much worse. And it's like, is he under a spell? Is he not under a spell? Because it turns out Ron ate a love potion and he fell in love with someone else, and then he drank poison. Because again, they're all idiots. You know, there's just I've got this.
Okay, well, let's be honest here. The love potion was supposed to be going to Harry, so people understand.
Yeah.
Harry was warned by Hermione.
like half an hour ago, he was
like 20 minutes before. Well,
Yeah.
for it in the movie time, it's 20, but it's like a couple days or like a week or two.
I think these movies span the whole year, so it could have been.
It spans the whole year, so it's some time during like before Christmas.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, careful. She's trying to acquire a love potion to put you under because you're the chosen one, and he's like, dumb hormones, right? Just like every guy. Really? And then she like gets slapped, and then Ron is dating this other girl who. This is a lead up into the hospital scene. This girl, Ron, I can't remember her name. She's like the most annoying character or lovey-dovey girl, like over the top, thinking like, oh, I have to be all sweet, talking a high-pitched voice, and oh my god, I'm so cute too.
Even Ron doesn't like her.
Yeah, he's just liking the attention. Then he realizes, no, this is not what I want. Because all she wants to do is kiss, and it's like, I don't mind kissing, but like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so Ron ends up eating 20 chocolates. That's a love potion to this Rhonda or Velma or whatever her name is.
Rwanda or so. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
And then Harry, like,
there's so many weird names in these movies. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, Harry nearly gets his ass kicked by Ron because he nearly insults the girl. Brings him to Slughorn's office, where Slughorn pours a drink, and Ron is like the first one to down it.
Yeah,
and it turns out that it's poison, and then Harry saves him, and then it leads to the awkwardness in the hospital scene where Ron kind of professes his love for Hermione, not really, just saying Hermione when he's like tired.
Yeah, again, that girl was crazy, but just because he said his friend's name asleep, if a girl broke up with me because of that, I'd be like,
listen, I had a girlfriend pissed off at me because apparently the dream version of me broke up with her.
Yeah,
she was pissed at me for 3 days.
My wife tries that with me. I'll just laugh at her and walk away. I'm not dealing with that. That's why we got married, so I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. But yeah, it's
that's
going back to Slughorn. The whole point of that plan was, it turns out Draco poisoned this bottle and gifted it to Slughorn, but that was intended for Dumbledore.
Yeah, because he expected that Slughorn, being the cheap person that he is,
would pass it on. Yeah,
because he's like, oh, this will be a more impressive gift if I give it to someone.
That's a big gamble.
Oh yeah.
You know, I get where Draco's logic is going, but what if he gave it to Snape? What if he gave it to Hagrid? You know, you don't know where he's going to re-gift that to.
Well, I think because this is how I think it was. So he first hexed Katie Bell to bring a necklace that's cursed to Dumbledore, but Superstance, she touched it, she got hexed, she was fine. Then he gave Slughorn, I think it's because he knows Slughorn is such a brown noser, and if he gets something expensive, he'll use it to try and show off that he was like the guy who I spent this money on you. So I think he got like a really expensive bottle, gave it to Slughorn, expecting Slughorn, because he knows his nature, to re-gift it. Yeah. But because it's like this weird situation, and Slughorn's like, well, we need some liquor. This is the only liquor I got. Let's open this bottle.
Here, 15-year-old boys, have some champagne.
Yeah, right. Like let's have some great champagne. Like, first off, horrible schooling and teacher advice there going there.
Second off, this Slughorn invites young boys to his chambers after hours all the time, and no one says
young students.
Yeah, okay, sometimes there were girls there, but in the scene where he's with young Voldemort, there is no girls there. There is all boys. And he even says, hurry off to bed now, you know, shoo. And no one says anything. It's weird. But yeah, then he just opens
Get your
bottle.
Perverse mind of public
I'm just bashing this movie because there's so much wrong with it. Again, I love it because, you know, I like Harry Potter, but when you watch it on its own, there's so much to pick up. Like, again, going back to this bottle that he was gifted, you're in a school where every year someone dies, okay?
Multiple people die, yes.
This year, you have guards around the school because they want to get in and kill the teachers, or they want to kill Dumbledore, but they will go through anyone to get to that. Mm-hmm. He gets gifted a bottle of alcohol. He never specifically says who it comes from, So either if he did know, if he knows it's from Draco, don't do it because he's from Slytherin, and even you as a teacher.
Oh, he's a Slytherin.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Well, Slughorn.
Slughorn was the head of Slytherin.
Okay, maybe I'll give that one a slight pass then, but still don't open a bottle of alcohol from a student.
I think he doesn't know who gave him the bottle. I think he received
That's
the bottle.
even worse.
Listen, he isn't the brightest fucking guy either, okay?
No, he's not. I mean, the guy's obviously a few pennies short, but it just, even you have to have enough savvy to know that, especially this year, don't open random bottles of alcohol that you are gifted, because every year someone dies.
Hurt me. I'm Professor Slughorn.
Yeah, I just again.
He like, here's how fucking.
I love the character. I find him funny, and I think it's brilliantly acted, and the whole story.
The actor is perfect for it. Who plays him? Give me a second.
I had his name because he used to. He was in a lot of British.
Jim Broadbent.
Yeah, he's in a lot of British TV shows, and I love him, and it's very well acted. The whole story does make sense as a whole when you look at the whole series of movies, but when you just watch it on its own and try and pick it apart, it's just, the guy's an idiot.
Listen, he's already. Here's the thing: I don't understand. He's super paranoid. We find that out at the beginning because he
so why does he open the bottle?
Right. Right. I was like, you get a gift, you don't know who it's from, and you're like, and it's liquid.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, you
in
think because you're in Hogwarts, you're safer? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, where Dumbledore dies at the end. You get this iconic scene of Harry trying to kill Snape. I think that's probably one of the and finding out that Snape is the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, that kind of comes out of nowhere again, because the whole movie, the first half of this movie is centered around the book and the Half-Blood Prince, and then the second half of the movie, it's like, oh, don't worry about that. Watch this, and then right at the end, Snape's like, "Yeah, I'm the Half-Blood Prince."
Well, because look, this is what's going on in the book. It happens at the same time. Like, you start, like, it goes something with the book. Event, something with the book, event, something, but you can't do it in a movie because it won't make sense.
Yeah, again, I've read the book, so I understand that story arc. But when you just watch this movie, the book is forgotten about, and even at the end, even though I know it's coming, when he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that book. I remember that." It's weird. It's bad. I love this movie. Don't get me wrong, I really do love it. I love Harry Potter.
It's an amazing. It's probably. See, I love the darkness of Prisoners of Azkaban, and I love Alfonso Cuarón's directing style. I hate the look of the werewolf.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
I want, like, when I think of a werewolf, I'm thinking, like, regardless of how skinny some guy is, they always turn into this, like, massive beast.
Yeah.
And I look at that werewolf, I'm like, that's a pathetic why are people scared of this?
It's like a giant greyhound.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, that's not my werewolf.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's still too cartoonish a little.
Yeah, I think you can you have to give that a pass because it's like the third movie, and that was like, what, 2004?
Oh yeah, no. Like, I give it all, like, this movie has a golden pass because it's connected to my childhood. It's golden, like.
Yeah.
In like 10 years, if they're like, we're going to remake Harry Potter, I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Remake it. I don't care. You can't touch the originals because they have a place in history that no one else can touch. Like, I've come to the point, like, I don't care if people are going to remake movies because I have the fond memories of the original. The new ones will be for the next generation. Let them enjoy that. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think these movies will ever get remade. But if they did, you could fix a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How many platforms are you giving this?
9 3/4. No. I'm going to give it an 8 because even though I've just sat here and bashed it for like, what, 30 minutes, and it is bad, but that's, again, I've said it so many times, that's the movie on its own, because there is so much wrong with it if you watch it solo, but these movies, each one is better than the last, and they do get so much better. And when you take into account everything else that has come before, and also knowing where this goes, because it all ties into the next two movies.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that information, it would be a bit weird, and it kind of stops at the end. Like the ending is very much like, yep, bye. But if you take everything into account, this is a great movie, and it is one of the better ones of the whole series. So again, I do love it. It is an 8 out of 10, but I can pick apart any of these movies because they are. You can pick apart any movie if you really want to, which I seem to be doing a lot more these days.
But we're taking like what we're doing. At least what I'm trying to do on this show is take it apart with love. Like we're picking movies that we love. And we're looking like this. This is ridiculous. Like I can't like this part, but we love these movies, and we're not bashing it because we want to hate on these movies. We're showing it like at the time this movie was great. If you said, if you watch this movie solo, you can pick apart and not knowing anything before or after it. There's a lot wrong with it because of certain things. But if you watch it all together, you see the progression on how well it gets from the beginning. You see the actors, their acting skills. Like Daniel Radcliffe is a brilliant in this. Like at the beginning, that little flirt scene.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's nice to see, again, when you're watching them through, you are growing up with these characters and the actors, and they do get better each movie. Their acting gets, because when in the first movie, they're like 11 years old and they get thrown into this spotlight. And they are not very good at acting in that first movie, but they do get so much better.
But at the same time, what I love about it, it's like that's just what you said. Like they threw into the limelight so quickly. I remember reading the first book, and for me, Hermione was very calm, cool, and collected. But in the first movie, the way that Emma Watson plays her, it's exactly like how an 11-year-old would act.
Yeah.
Over the top. And it's like, it's perfect. I didn't see that in the books when I read the books because as an 11-year-old reading these books, I don't see us being over dramatic. But when it's an actual child over dramatic.
Kids are dramatic. They are very dramatic.
But a child doesn't think they're freaking dramatic because they don't realize it until they're older. Like, okay, shut up.
Yeah.
Not dramatic. Anyways, this is the show. Aaron,
it's a good movie. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I have to agree. Eight platforms.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my top 3 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Just because of the tone, I forgot how great it actually is. Like the book is one of the better books. And yeah, I love this. Can't say enough about it. Go rewatch the series. It kind of put me in the mood to rewatch the series, but then I was like, read at the same time, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's very weird that I've had to watch this movie, and now I kind of have to go back. But then I'm thinking, when I get to this movie, do I skip it or do I watch it again? I'm not sure, but yeah, I do want to go back and watch them all now. And it's just it's a question of when.
All right, pick a number.
17.
17. All right, I'll text you what we're watching next week.
Ooh, bit of spice, bit of mystery for the listeners.
Bit of spice, mystery for your listening pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Phil Better, the podcast mogul, the man who has so many podcasts that he doesn't know he has no free time, but he still has free time to watch movies with you guys here on the Phil Better Show. Here's Aaron Talks Film, host of Aaron Talks Film podcast, pretty much.
Where we got very lazy with the title anyway.
Similar with this name, the Phil Better Show. Like, come on, Aaron Talks Films. Like, he is the pulp culture expert. If you want anything news related to the wild world of Hollyweird, make sure you check out his podcast on any of the podcast platforms, specifically Spotify. He's blowing up right now on the Spotifys. I thank you so much for listening, guys, girls, children of all ages. If you're he, she, there, whatever you want to call yourself, I thank you for listening. Stay hydrated, all that fun stuff. I'm going to shut up now. Goodbye.